limelight this afternoon. Not to forget the beautiful performance of Saraswati Vandana that we had from the artists who have already left for better recovered areas of operations. The fantastic team that I enjoy working with, on whose shoulders all that glory that we are talking about is mine. One of the finest set of young researchers who found time to travel to Gurgaon. It's no more a Gaon, I can assure you that. My colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege for this school to be getting into a conference which is not one, not two, but a long haul, and as some of the speakers have already used the expression, the recovery is going to be a long haul, and therefore the creation of knowledge for managing recovery is also going to be a long haul process. And we have made this commitment of being a part of the journey for a minimum of 3 years, and God willing, either the world recovers or we keep putting in our effort. So God bless us, God bless you, God bless all of us, and we hope to recover. I have the pleasure of introducing to you the Honorable Ambassador, Her Excellency, who is now formally going to inaugurate this conference. The first out of the 13, and we picked up the number 13 because most people say it's the unlucky number, so we said we'll try to convert it into luck in the year 2014. Ambassador is not new to international diplomacy, although she is new to this country. She has been here only for the last 5 years, and I have had the pleasure of spending less than 5 minutes with her because she has been busy with other things and possibly important guests that we have. But whatever little that I could capture is that she is already grounded into the ugly politics of the Indian system. She is already familiar with what goes on, and she says, I am happy to keep away from the internal politics of the country so long as I can manage my international diplomacy. And I think I have the greatest lesson from there, that if we are going to talk about recovery, we need to get down to all levels, be it conceptual levels, be it industry levels, be it organizational levels. And we had the galaxy of industry experts this afternoon flagging for us some snapshots of what they mean from the word or what recovery means to them. And I do recall very interestingly professors telling us Japan has a different take on recovery. Mr. Balaji telling us he is recovering from, not in terms of the economic sense, but recovery from an opportunity lost 2.5 years back and how we can bounce back, to an idea of sharing resources because we have crisis. So all of this, fruitful deliberations for next 2 days. Anything that goes wrong in this conference, I am responsible. So don't worry. And everything that goes right, my team here gets the accolades. Pleasure to introduce to you Ma'am Curie. 35 years of distinguished diplomatic career behind her. A graduate from the University of Ljubljana. Somebody has some connections there, right in our faculty. Speaks Slovenian as her mother tongue, but is comfortable with English, Croatian and Italian. Ma'am, you will be happy with English because a lot of us cannot follow these other languages. Now, for the last 5 months, building the bridge between two great countries, and I've been to her neighboring country where she was the former ambassador, Hungary, 4 times last year. hope to visit your wonderful country soon, because 2015 conference is going to be hosted, and our partners are here in that beautiful country. And let me announce with pleasure, as was already announced, that next March we are meeting here, but in between we are meeting somewhere else in Australia. So let me introduce to you the co-chair for an Australian conference, Professor D.P. Goyal. Let me introduce to you the conference chair for the March 2015, Professor N.P. Singh, and the global conference chair continues to be Professor Chatterjee, with Narayan pitching in for one more destination that we hope to announce before you depart the afternoon. Welcome, Ambassador.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Gupta. Very kind words. And I'm very honored to be here today. I would like this opportunity to use this opportunity to say thank you very much for giving me audience to speak a little bit on the subject, but also to introduce my country. So I'm very pleased that the Faculty of Economics and Businesses in the University of Maribor has found the Management Development Institute in Gurgaon, in India, as a partner. And together with the Australian Centre for Asian Business, you are creating a very unique challenge. It's more than a conference, I would say. I see it as a challenge to the scholars, the economists, and business people to find solutions for the future. I myself, I am not an economist. I am not a scholar. I am not a businessman, businesswoman. I'm just a diplomat. And I believe that we diplomats in 21st century, we have also the duty to work together with academia and with business in much more proactive and structured manner. Why? Because we have, all of us, a huge task. How to find way out of this crisis. How to manage the recovery of our economies. Slovenia is a very young country, younger than the majority of students here, 23 years old. Generally speaking, we are in these last 22 years. We have been a success story. Why? When we started our independence, the GDP per capita purchasing power was $14,000. In 2008, before we hit the economic and financial crisis, the purchasing power per capita was $28,000. So we managed from 1992 to 2008 to double our income, and that is a big success. But we did much more. We restructured our economy. We found practically over the night 35%, we lost 35% of markets in ex-Yugoslavia. So we had to replace it. We had maybe 1 year. We had to find new money. We introduced our new currency in 48 hours. 48 hours. But what was the most important, that we managed our public finances in the way that we were the first new European Union member country to join the euro. Well, which had some problems a few years ago, but now we are on the way to deal with that. constitution, we are a social state which provides free education services, including the university, and highly subsidized medical services and social benefits. However, you know, in these 23 years, we also had problems, and economic and financial crisis hit us as a strong storm. Our economy is export-oriented. Export of goods and services present approximately 76% of our GDP. 70% of our trade is within the common market of the European Union. The slowdown in the European Union meant immediate and multiple reduce of our industrial production. On top of that, of course, we discovered, or let's say we were faced with some poor management of our banks and financial malversations. For 2 years, we have suffered from the negative growth. Good news is that the last quarter of 2013, we increased, we had a positive growth in comparison to the last quarter of 2012, and this growth is 2.1%. This was after 2 years, after 8 quarterly decrease of our GDP. But let me say how diplomacy, what is the task of diplomacy, and how diplomacy can try to help managing the recovery of our economies. First, and the most important is, of course, that we have to regain trust. Trust, we know, it's not something that, it's not a matter of sweet talk. Trust can be regained only with, on the basis of facts. And this is why I would like to introduce you some facts, some measures that my country is taking in order to speed up the recovery. First of all, the fiscal consolidation. The deficit was reduced from 6.4 in 2011 to 3.7 in 2012. We have introduced the pension reform with the retirement age increased up to 65. We have adopted the labor market reform with more flexibility and reduced the fragmentation. Comprehensive legal framework was put in place to deal with the distressed bank portfolio, and bank asset management company was set up. We also set up the Slovenian sovereign holding to manage the public state-owned companies. In parallel to these measures, we introduced new legislation when it comes to insolvency legislation, and of course we launched a huge privatization process. About 15 companies are now on offer to be privatized. My duty is to promote Slovenia here in Europe. And I would like to introduce you with some advantages that I see as a niche for Indian highly educated, more than 23% with university degree, 57% of secondary school. Excellent IT, foreign language skills, English, German, Italian, French, sub-operation. Quality of infrastructure, international airport, the port of Koper Capodistria, and the excellent network of highways and connections. Just one point that is very important for today is that the average commercial vessel from Indian Ocean to Port of Koper Capodistria is $500,000 cheaper than if this vessel would go to the traditional hubs in Hamburg or Rotterdam. $500,000. But furthermore, 1,000 kilograms of less of CO2 emissions. So there are two elements: cost effective plus energy friendly solutions. So this is and huge advantages. Of course, we have also the quality linked to the regional markets. We are just in the heart of it. One of the Indian speakers said that it's that we have to aim to reach for more, and I will speak later about that. And the quality of life. The quality of life by the International Index is, we are put on the 15th place in the world. The survey was done for 51 countries. We have culture and geographic diversity, and of course beautiful nature. One of the speakers on the CIR conference gave us a huge, that was held a couple of days ago, gave us a huge compliment. Namely, calling us, calling us to go for the, not for the heart, but to go for the brain of Europe. And this is a very important advantage that I see in relations, in building relations between Slovenia and India. Slovenia is ranked 19th country in the world by the Global Innovation Index. 19. We are 2 million people. And we managed in the global index to be 19. So this is a huge potential to work with, because India needs industry, has a brilliant minded people, excellent education, and with synergies of our innovations and your capacities, we can make a change. Let me, and also to mention that, of course, in the European Union, among 28 countries, Slovenia is ranked 11th in the innovation score. Let me say that we identified some areas which we believe they are a niche and advantage to work with India. This is logistics and transport, green technologies and recycling. Green technologies. Few kilometers from here, 3 months ago, we opened joint venture company on smart green boxes that hopefully will provide not just Haryana with the green solutions, sustainable and renewable energy, but also many other countries in India. Automotive industry. I was just recently told that, you know, the new device in the best cars that stops the car at the traffic light, the engine just stops. This device was innovated by the Slovenian company. I did not know. I just discovered that. And this is something that, of course, with the growing Indian industry, we can really find synergies. And, of course, nanotechnology, not to mention the pharmaceutical and electronics, and also to mention that, of course, when Slovenians and Indians, we joined our forces, we delivered Sunita Williams. Why? Sunita Williams' mother is a Slovenian. Sunita Williams' father is Indian. And what up we launched her to the space. So, with this, I would like to invite you to discover Slovenia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was really nice. Now I would request Professor S. Chatterjee, the conference chair, to please come and present the expression of gratitude. Sir, please.
Thank you once again, Madam Excellency, for the very, very thought-provoking words that you gave us and really motivated us to do something together. Hope we will live up to your expectations sometime in the future. Before we come to the end of this inaugural program, we wish to express our sincere thanks to our partner institutions, represented by Professor Ying Zhu and Dr. Deepak Sardana of the Australian Centre for Asian Business, University of South Australia, Adelaide, Australia, and Professor Samo Bobek of the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Maribor, Republic of Slovenia, who have not only constantly encouraged us in our endeavour, but have also kindly agreed to carry the flag of these conference series forward in the coming years. Our sincere gratitude to all our distinguished panelists here today who have spared their valuable time for us to participate in the inaugural program. We are also grateful to all the delegates and scholars who have contributed in large numbers to the success of this conference. This symbolizes their faith and confidence that they have reposed in our events and academic ventures, which would not achieve any measure of success without their generous intellectual contributions. Lastly, we would like to thank all those who have contributed directly or indirectly towards making this event happen. As an event like this is the culmination of long and sincere efforts of various cross-functional teams that have joined their hands together for a common cause. So once again, I thank you one more. Thank you.
Now I would request Professor Mukul P. Gupta sir to felicitate these speakers with a token of appreciation. First, we would like to invite our guest, Daria Bahadur today, Her Excellency. Thank you, ma'am, for your presence here. It's a great blessing. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Satyan Gupta and request him to please receive this. And last but not least, Professor Susumu Yamamoto. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to invite Professor Samo Bobek to please come on the stage and receive a token of appreciation on our behalf for coming and gracing us with his presence. Professor. We'd like to also invite Mr. Hatasam for thank you for coming to this auspicious occasion. I would also like to invite Professor Zingju to the stage and would like to thank him for coming to this occasion. Professor Zingju.
Once again, on behalf of MDI family, I extend a very warm welcome to all the guests who have joined hands in this initiative, and I hope you enjoy this conference, and I also invite you to please come in for the high tea and the refreshments. Thank you everyone, thanks a lot.